Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a requested tarot reading for a former member of MONSTA X and an actual member. So this is going to be about Wonho's and IM's relationship. I know that I am. It's his name. His real name is different. That I am is his stage name, but I'm going to refer to him with this because the other name I didn't want to pronunciate it in a bad way. So let's stick with I am. So I placed I am on the left and Wono's part on the right. And I wanted to talk a bit about their sun and moon in astrology. And actually I am he is an Aquarius with a moon in Aries. So definitely very strong personality, a very different like very different energies actually, but I will explain a bit later. And then Wono's sun and moon are in his a Pisces sun with a moon in Gemini, which I had mentioned Wono's energy when I did Monster X and him reading. And do you know that Pisces and Gemini have in common that they are very flexible and they are very like mutual signs. They're mutable signs, so they are like the shapeshifters of the zodiac, in the sense that they can allow themselves to be more flexible and to change their mind pretty easily, and to be able to adapt different traits and to change their minds very often. So even though this has like the potential of them being very, especially when you are an artist, I think that it's a must have when you are an artist. But for example, when it comes to commitments or relationships, or probably these kinds of interactions where you need a lot of more of consistency, probably Wono's energy, it's a bit like different in that sense. It's like it's not easy to define him, because he has like all these energies inside of him that are in constant change and they are moving all the time. So it's like he will have like different moods. So you definitely need to like be keep that in mind, that his energy is always going to be swifting, it's always going to be changing. In the case of I am, I think that his energy, even though he is an Aquarius, it's also about novelty, about being different, about embracing what makes you different, and actually being also very intelligent when it comes to how your mind works, and probably being very creative at the same time. All air signs actually are very creative, but in the case of I am, he also has this moon in Aries, which can turn his nature into a bit more like raw, in the sense that, when you are a moon in Aries, I actually can recognize moon in Aries people, especially men, when I meet them, because their face is the gestures that they make with their face, it's very straightforward, and most of the time they look pretty angry. And actually they are not angry, it's just that it's the way they stare at people. You know that Aries, it's ruled by the sheep. I think that it's called sheep in English. And that Aries also rules the head. That's why sometimes Aries people or Aries placements have like curly hair, and they have like prominent hair styles. And if you pay attention, I think that the part that rules design it's the head, the forehead, and somehow the eyebrows. You know, like when you meet an Aries person, when you meet a moon in Aries person, you can sense in their eyebrows that they are like very fixated, kind of like sign and energy, that it seems like they are very concentrated, and at the same time they seem a bit angry. Like, you know that Aries, it's all about being straightforward and being a person of action, so probably they are not the best at communicating their desires. They are much more better at showing it with actions than instead of talking about it. So sometimes moon in Aries people can come off as a bit egocentric or as a bit like selfish, because they are very well centered in their own identity and in what they want to achieve for themselves. So it this from a distance, or from people that from people's perspective that do not know them, they can be pretty intimidating when you meet them for the first time, especially moon in Aries, and they are very like straightforward even when they are saying hello to you. Probably their tone of voice, it's very like, it seems like they don't like you. But it's not the case. It's just a perception, you know, because Aries, it represents the warrior. So they do have this kind of body language that is like, wow, this person is going to punch me in the face if I say the wrong thing. But actually they are the sweetest. They are the sweetest person, and they truly care about their loved ones. And what it's really nice about them is that, like I said in the beginning, they have like a very strong identity. It's like they know what they want. So I think that if you mix this with the fact that he is an Aquarius sun, I think that it makes his energy a bit more interesting, because you know, Aquarius is all about ideas and innovations, but sometimes, since you know the air element, it's a bit evasive, and it's a bit like free. You know, sometimes they do not finish what they start. You know, and in the case of I think that this moon in Aries of him probably gives him more fuel to his life, more passion, a more passion nature, and also this sense of always trying to find out who he is, you know, because Aquarius energy, it's an energy that it rules the 11th house, that it's a house of friends and acquaintances and groups. So Aquarius tend to be really friendly, but it's like sometimes they devote themselves too much to the group, that maybe when they are not on a group they feel like they do not belong anywhere. So I think that him having a moon in Aries actually gives him more like a sense of self, you know, like he's able to be like, okay, what I need to fulfill my emotional needs is to focus on myself, is to be able to remove myself a little bit from social interactions and actually go after what I want, because I know that only I can make things happen for myself. That even though I belong to a group, even though I like to be with people, I have to find my own way. I have to find my ideals. I have to find the meaning of my life, who I am, why I am who I am. You know, they are very centered in themselves. So I think that this is something that if someone is ever interested in a moon in Aries, it's something that you need to have into consideration, that they will always try to fight for their rights, and at the same time to fight for their own identity and their own desires and what makes them unique. And that for them it's great to have also a space to develop their dreams, you know, to not have people opposing them, you know, in some way. They are very independent, so they do not like people to get in their way. You know, they get really upset when they have people it's not that they do not like to be with people, it's just that they do not like people to be like hovering around them when they are like having a goal in mind, and when they are moving forward and you are getting in the way, they will probably like get you out of the way. They will be really rude and they will be like, get out, because they are people that once they have something in mind that they want to accomplish, they will not stop until they get it. So let's see how he feels about Wonho. He got the Queen of Cups, the Hermit, and the Fool. So, yes, I think definitely there's something about his nature that he is very loving. Actually, the fact that it started with the Queen of the King of Cups, it means that he's really good at mastering his own emotions. He is someone that can be very emotional, but he is in a phase in his life where he is in charge of these emotions. I think that definitely he does have feelings for Wonho, in the sense that he does have like sentiments for him. It's not that he's indifferent. It's just that he's going through like some kind of personal change. He's like reviewing a lot of past actions, a lot of things from the past, because we have the Hermit here. So even though he is very emotional, at the same time, he has this kind of shield where he's someone that sometimes he separates himself from others in order to go find himself. So this can be very lonely, yes. I think that it's actually really hard to get to know I am. In the sense that probably he is someone that just disappears out of nowhere, like and like I mentioned before, is to go and find himself. He has a lot of a lot of questions about why he's doing what he's doing. Probably he's someone that he spends time on his own to write, to reflect, to create. He needs a long time. So if you care for him, you need to acknowledge that he will have these moments where he will be like MIA, because he does need it in order to collect himself. And then we have the Fool card. So yes, he is preparing himself for a new beginning. So probably what he's thinking about when he thinks about Wonho, perception of him, is that they are both probably they have like a very strong emotional connection, but something happened probably when Wonho left, that somehow made him like shut down completely when it comes to expressing how he felt. And now with the Fool, he's like slowly coming out. Probably if they didn't connect or communicate pretty often, I think that they are starting to do this, because, and I don't think that it's Wonho's fault, and I don't think it's anyone's fault. I think that when it comes to I am, sometimes you need to let him be, and he will reach out to you when he's ready. He is that kind of person, I believe. So I feel like right now he's going to feel in the next months a bit more free to express himself, to be more open to meeting people, to hang out, to connect, but when he is in that hermit mode, there's no way you're getting him out of there. He needs to come out on his own. So I think that he is much more wiser right now, much more like in control of his emotions. And yes, nevertheless, it would be nice to see why he would need to like work on himself to see why he feels the need to be in control of his emotions. Why he cannot let himself be. Probably there are a lot of emotions and feelings towards Wonho that actually he didn't allow himself to show in the moment. So this is why he preferred to stay away somehow. But now he's more open. Now he wants a new, fresh start. he's much more hopeful for the future. He is like he's feeling lighter. He's feeling like more careless. It's like he's feeling like he has less weight on his shoulder. And this is why I think that when it comes to his perception of Wonho's, it's not about Wonho. It's about how he behaves with everyone. Actually, it's not personal. He needs his time. Now his energy is totally like renewed, so it's really nice. And then we have Wonho's side, and Wonho's have the Chariot, the Five of Swords, and the King of Wands. So Wonho is moving on. Actually, Wonho is also someone that he's a Pisces. He has his moments where he also is emotional. It's like he cannot help himself, even though I think that probably we're talking about work. But he is someone that he gets carried away by his emotions, and all the choices that he makes are from the heart. Actually, it's like all the choices that he makes are because of an emotional need. I don't think he is like that kind of person that it's like strategically doing things. I think that he follows his heart pretty frequently, and sometimes this makes him a bit like not that stable, because it's like sometimes he needs to be like more realistic probably about what he wants to achieve. It's like he just goes with the flow, and it's like there's a lot of uncertainty, and I think that here with the Five of Pentacles, I think that he's still moving on, even though inside he feels like a failure. I'm not going to lie. He feels defeated. Or at least he sometimes has these very recurrent thoughts of self-pity, or actually being ashamed of himself, or feeling like he's not good enough, and I think that he's moving on nevertheless. I think that he definitely went through moments where things weren't working out for him. Things were difficult for him. And probably he felt like a huge, overwhelming feeling of not being able to overcome things. I think that it's a lot of pressure for him to be on his own. This is the reality. And he's a great artist, because I can see it here. But there are moments where he feels like a bit overwhelmed, like he has to be very like persistent and almost like a bit pushy with people, so people can take him into consideration, for promotions and stuff. So this is why sometimes he feels really like a bit like not comfortable, with doing that. It's like it's as if he has to be more assertive when it comes to making his work known. He's like, oh yes, I'm here, remember, I'm here, hello, and he has to self-introduce himself again, and he has to be polite, and he has to talk to people that he doesn't like, or he has to talk to managers or producers or whatever, these people that actually he doesn't like at all. So sometimes he does find this very like exhausting mentally. He feels a bit fake sometimes, where he has to like probably talk to some higher ups, and to promote himself, so they can like give him some kind of promotion, or some kind of deal, something like that. And he feels a bit like he has been in the industry for a long time, so he feels like as if it is somehow like a rookie's kind of activity, not like the way he feels about himself. He feels like he is much more experienced, but somehow being on his own, he has to put like a lot of more effort. So but you're not going to see that of him. You're not going to see the insecurity, and you're not going to see the moments where he doesn't feel so good about himself, because he has the King of Wands here. So definitely with the King of Wands, it means that he will show himself being very brave and being very in the spotlight and being very proud of himself and being very showing a lot of himself. You will see him, probably this has to do with this King of Wands, also has to do with his vitality when it comes to his physique. That his body is very like very fit, and stuff. And I think that he feels very proud of his body. And this also gives him a lot of confidence and he feels very like, he feels really good about his body, and that's really nice. That's really nice. He feels really good about this. It's like as if his body were like some kind of shield, that protects him from other people's judgment. Because people can be really judgy. This is why I think that sometimes he feels a bit like down, like actually having to deal with people that pretend to be nice with him and actually they are not. So, but when it comes to how he views I am, I think that he definitely has a lot of respect for I am, because I definitely also can see I am represented by this King of Wands because of this moon in Aries of his. I think that probably they didn't have it easy to get along. I don't know about them, about the group. I don't know about the group's dynamics, but I think that he perceives I am as this person that has like I said, a very strong identity. So he is someone that he doesn't give in pretty easily. So probably if they had some kind of disagreements in the past, it's like he learned how to appreciate I am for his strong personality. It's like I said, I am, if you get to know him, you kind of learn how to read his vibe. It's like when he's in a good mood, when he's not in a good mood. So it's like you learn to love him the way he is. And I think that in Wonho's perception of I am, he definitely sees I am as someone very strong headed, very strong willed. At the same time, it's like he is the king of his castle, and yes, to approach him in this relationship that they had at the beginning, it always had like this kind of ups and downs, because I am can be sometimes a bit harsh with words, a bit like a bit bossy even. I don't even know who the leader is, but I am has like a very intimidating kind of personality that probably he doesn't say so much, but when he says it, probably if you are very sensitive or if you are that kind of person that could easily get offended, you will get offended by everything that I am says, because I am is very straightforward. He doesn't sugarcoat things. So this is, I think that what one was showing me is that they had to work through a lot of differences, and at today, at the present day, he definitely admires her I am for all, for the man that he is. I think there's something also about I am's masculinity, or probably this he seems very powerful in the eyes of others. So, but at the same time, even though he is powerful, it doesn't mean that makes him less intimidating. There's something about about I am that you are like, okay, I shouldn't make him upset or something like that. It's like you have to, be careful. Um, and then as the relationship as overall, we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Tower. So I think honestly that both of them are working a lot on their own business and on their own careers and on their own projects. I actually think that somehow they are in a rush, and I don't know why. Because I see like the tower moment here. There's the tower, and I think that a huge change is about to happen. So I don't know if maybe this has to do with their career or with their personal lives, but I think that they are working on details because it's like they need to deliver some kind of project of theirs, like individually. So they are really working on the details. It's as if they are very like in a rush to release some content because something is going to change about their everyday lives, something that is going to be a very massive change. So could it be probably that they are about to enlist in the military or something like that? Do you know, guys, if you are a fan, if you could let me know if they had been in the military already or if they are about to go? Because I see them like really like rushing into working on the details of what they have to release, and that they have to do this very soon. And that this, you will probably, if you are not aware of this, you will probably, the fans will get some kind of news or some kind of letter or some kind of announcement where they will talk about this new phase that the guys are going to be entering into. But it's going to affect the relationship. And I think that it has to do with each other's schedule. So probably is that because they are working on finalizing something and they need to do it right away. So yes, will have to see what's this about. So yes, guys, this is all I have for my interpretation of MONSTA X I am and soloist Wonho's. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.